All right. I think we're live. I think we're live. How you doing? Hopefully you're doing all right. Hopefully you can hear me. I brought the what's it called? The tripod down here tonight. So I can finally just have it set up. I ain't gotta hold it. I think I like it better. Again, uh, we just moved, so I'm trying to get I have limited space to work the live stream. But I'm trying to get a new setup, trying to figure out a new setup. Still got to figure out where the green screen is going to go. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Rob. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. I go live every weekday. Hopefully, one day America shortens the week to a 3-day week. That's ideally what, realistically, that's what we should be at. With the technology we have today, there's no more need for people to be working for 5 days. And if you're one of those 24/7 grind people, you could work 5 days. Nobody's forcing you to make it for the 3-day week. I just think, we've come so far. I think back to the days of Henry Ford and what's his name, George Kellogg, or whoever his name was, Mr. Kellogg of the Frosted Flakes dynasty. They used to have people working 7 days a week. And then they realized if we give people the weekend off, but still pay them the same amount, maybe they can buy our cars and spend more on our cereal. Maybe they'll have some leisure time. And guess what happened? They came back to work refreshed, productivity went up, accidents went down, all this stuff. You can look it up. It's a little thing called history. So I'm just waiting for America to pave the way to the future, to make it truly the number one nation and make the week consist of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Weekends will now be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I say all that because essentially, when we do cut down to a 3-day week, I'll still go live 5 days a week. I'll still go Monday through Friday. And I do go Monday through Friday. What's up, Stephanie? 1 second. And I say all that. And listen, if I come into a large sum of money, which will probably happen, I'll go live 7 days a week. And that's why I say subscribe, because I bring you news commentary, news commentary, entertainment, newsmantertainment. That's what this genre is. 5 days a week right now. And even when your work week gets cut down to 3 days a week, guess what? I'll go 7. Take that, Philly DeFranco. Um, and I go after Philly DeFranco because he's probably the biggest news commentary channel on YouTube, but he doesn't go live. I go live, and I do it because I love the chat. Oh, hold on. Okay, remember last time you streamed? You let out a nasty wet fart, and you got so embarrassed that you ended your stream. I don't know if that was me, but that would have been hilarious. Hello, SS closed. Are you fruity? Why? Like your handle and your avatar. Why? Very non-anonymous. SS closed. Hey, handsome. Hey, what's going on? Gorgeous. English or Japanese, Frankie? You tell me. Jackie Cochran. Me looks around the planet Earth for my phone, but I can't find it. But I find it in my hand. We've all been there, Jackie. God bless ya. Last time I was looking for my sunglasses, they were on my head. Fruity farts. Oh, Stephanie, you're going hard tonight with the farts. Not gonna lie. Not gonna read that. Fruity cake. What's up with Jesus, people? 11:14. Everyone's talking about fruity stuff. How did you make a live stream? Wait, the Russians will come for everyone soon. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Ben. Hi, Michelle again. If you move, you're gay. Oh, YouTube late night is a whole different genre. This is like the Adult Swim for random public access internet streaming. All right, so let's get into this. I don't know if anybody knows who Mr. Beast is, and if the comments are just going to be talking about fruity farts, and I might just go on to the stories. I'm here to hate on you. Give me something to work with. All right, Solo H, I'm going to give you a lot to work with, so bring it. Do you like hunting? Is this, Ben, is this one of those, do you like apples? Well, I got a number. How do you like them apples? Satanic bird in the background. That's right. Mark of the Beast, the dove, very notoriously known, infamously known as Satan's bird, the dove. Mr. Beast. Does anybody fruity farts? I'm concerned. Hello emoji. I'm concerned what your channel consists of. He probably likes Kamala Harris, Ambient Machine. No, I would say I'm more of a Bernie Sanders, Fidel Castro fan, but close, close. I'm not for the red or the blue. Let's just say that. Um, I'm for the people. Double tap the screen to win a Cybertruck. Thank God you're here, Bandito. There's a lot of late night people. Ava, hey, I just found your channel. Thank you, Ava. Heart to you. I like your avatar. There's a lot of people talking ish in here. Almost broke my ankle this morning. I work in a warehouse. 100 pounds of glitter fell on your leg. Thank God at least you sparkle, Curtis. All right, we're going to talk about Mr. Beast. I don't know if anybody knows who this character is. He's got 307 million subscribers. And there is a, thank you, that one or that one. I don't know if you can see both. Dinosaur, yes. This is my dinosaur friend. The bird one, the Antichrist, Mr. Beast. Curtis, you speaking my language. I wouldn't call him Antichrist. He ain't that clever. But Chris Tyson had the American dream and threw it away. I wouldn't say to play dress up. Listen, the least of my concerns is Chris, Ava, whatever her name is now. I don't care what people. Let's say this, because I'm not going to address the Chris Ava stuff because that doesn't really concern the Mr. Beast stuff that I want to address. But if you want to claim America to be the land of the free, if you're proud that we have the most freedom here in America, then you shouldn't give a shit if people want to dress a certain way, be a certain thing. And if you do, then don't ever talk about America being the land of the free. That's my take on that. Okay. So that's why I say I respect it. Don't bother me. Don't phase me none. If Chris is now Ava, again, I haven't kept up with that side of the story. Last video I watched, Chris was still Chris. So I'm catching all this news as it comes in. I'm trying to stay up to date, but it don't bother me, and I don't know why it would bother anybody else. You know, what bothers me is his or her actions. But again, we're not talking about that. What we're going to talk about with the Mr. Beast stuff is the allegations of fraud. And I've always said, here's my biggest gripe that nobody. I've linked again. Hit subscribe. Hit the notification bell. I go live every weekday. And I always try to link all of the articles, videos I discuss down in the description. And if you want to get caught up real quick after the live stream, I would highly suggest watching, we're going to play some of this. Camnuggets, he talks about Mr. Beast's 2 cease and desist letters. Camnuggets, small YouTuber, 14,000 subs, way bigger than me. 14 times the size of my channel, but still small relatively, but he does a great job covering this. And then I also linked the video to Some Ordinary Gamers. Mudahar, he's always fantastic in breakdowns of everything. He's a well-spoken dude, he's a smart dude. So I linked both of those down below. And if you just want to get caught up with kind of the full story up till today, I would highly suggest watching those after the live stream. Course. What we're going to talk about is Dogpack 404's video claiming that Mr. Beast's contests are rigged. These are all the allegations. Dogpack 404 used to work for MrBeast, came out and basically became a whistleblower. This is about MrBeast, Ava. Um, oh, your name's Ava too. Yeah, so it's not about the Chris Ava. This is going to be about MrBeast. The Chris Ava stuff, I don't care to address. Um, I think that's going to get sorted out because that's a very serious, as in like damaging people's. Well, no, these are all very serious things, but that's just something that I can't speak to yet. We're going to talk about the MrBeast stuff because for years now, people have called me a hater. People have said I'm just jealous of MrBeast, all because, again, with no ill will, I had some constructive criticism for MrBeast. Now, I've interviewed with his team once for a job. The second time, they sent me some interview stuff and I blew it off. But I always had this bad feeling with MrBeast that some people, when you work with people that get to the top of their game, that get more money than God, which again isn't hard to do if you know anything about God. Jesus never carried cash, he didn't have a lot of money. Um, but when you get that much money, it goes to your head and you start to believe that you can't make a wrong decision. You start to think, like, oh, how could I get this big if I was wrong? And I've had these bad vibes about MrBeast. But a few things irked me like no other. And if you've ever subscribed to MrBeast or gone to his channel, you've seen it says subscribe for a cookie. It still says it on his channel. I checked yesterday, unless he's changed it. And out of all these allegations, the dog pack video, the former employee dog pack 404, accusing him of fraud, they didn't bring up the very tip of the iceberg. The thing that leads to the huge iceberg underneath is that up front, MrBeast has lied since day one. I think for a decade, he said subscribe for a cookie. And not like a cookie embedded in your browser, not like a virtual cookie. There's a photo of a chocolate chip cookie. And I've subscribed to him. My kids have subscribed to him. I know many people have subscribed to him. And nobody's got a cookie. And if he can easily lie to people's face and say, subscribe for a cookie, and never pay up on that, it bothers me to no end of what else he's willing to do. And I just want you to consider this because everybody overlooks this. Nobody has mentioned this on any of these. And you might say, Rob, that's so trite, that's so trivial. But here's the thing. When I ask you to subscribe to the channel, because we're gonna leapfrog Philly DeFranco at some point. I know Philly has like 7 million subs, but at some point we're going to jump over his subs. We're going to, by far, get more subs than Philly DeFranco. But I'm not doing it based on the fact that I'm asking you to subscribe for a cookie. I'm telling you what my content is. I'm telling you the channel goes live 5 days a week. That's my word. And I specifically tell you that's my word because my word means something. When I ask you to subscribe, I'm doing it because I'm telling you we're going to talk about news, entertainment, commentary, be sarcastic. Somebody's going to talk about wet farts. Michelle Walton's going to come in and say womp womp. I mean, these are the things that you're going to get on this live stream. And I'm being upfront with you. I'm not telling you if you hit that subscribe button, I'll give you a cookie. You want to know why? Because I can't give 1,300 people cookies. I ain't got that kind of dough. Jimmy Donaldson, aka MrBeast, has the money to fork over 307 million cookies. Has anybody that subscribed to him in this chat got a cookie from him? Fuck no, you ain't. He's a liar. And he's lied up front in our faces, visibly, bold-faced, since day one. He's always said subscribe for a cookie. And I thought that was suspect. Unless he starts, I say we got a class action lawsuit. I've made shorts on this years ago. The chat is a snapshot into YouTube viewer intellect. I love you, Bandito. Oh, by the way, we got a Discord up. And it is in the description. If you'd like to join the Discord and say stuff like womp womp or fruity wet farts or whatever was going on in the beginning of the chat, feel free to join the Discord. Straight up respectable mission statement. Um, oh, mine. Okay, Kurt, I think you're talking about me. I don't know. It's hard to gauge when the chat is trying to attack you or trying to agree with you because it all kind of comes across. But I think, Curtis, you're talking about, yeah, my mission statement is just very clear. Like, you're going to get sarcasm and news a lot of the time. I do ghost hunting videos and reaction videos and satire comedy videos. But when I ask you here on the live to subscribe, I tell you my word is Monday through Friday, I'll go live. We'll talk about news, commentary. A lot of the times we get lit up in the chat with different things. One time, I forget who it was. Was it JM Animations? I don't know. We got a great family here. So, all the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing. Happy to have you. And sometimes we get sidetracked with talking about like if Godzilla was real. That happens too. Just a heads up. Um, but I do that because, I'm not here to lie to you like MrBeast has. And this is just factual stuff. Go look it up. Go to his channel. It will say subscribe for a cookie, and there's a photo of a cookie. And he's a fucking liar. Okay? Nobody's talking about that. Dogpack 404, I respect him for coming out and being a whistleblower. If these things are truly happening, which let me just say this, there's a lot of allegations that MrBeast's contests are rigged, that they're filled with his friends, family, and former employees or employees. This Dogpack 404, former employee of MrBeast, gave a lot of proof in a video. I linked it down below. And out of all this stuff that's coming out, it speaks so loudly that MrBeast has said nothing. When it comes to the Chris Ava situation, MrBeast said, well, I'm going to look into it. He tweeted or something. He made a statement. When it comes to these allegations of him being a fraud, he said nothing. He's said nothing. But he has sent 2 cease and desist letters, and we're going to get into that. Soulless. Yo, I haven't seen you for a while. Do you remember me? Yes, I do. I was there when your dog was freaking out something across the room. That's right. She ain't down here tonight because I can't deal with that. When she comes down here, she barks at stuff in the room that isn't here. And it kind of bugs me because we just moved into this place and the kids, my kids have had a hard time adjusting to the new house. And tonight, my son said, if I wake up and you hear me say, what is it, Nightwalker? He goes, if I wake up and you hear me yelling Nightwalker, he said, that's my code for there's a man in the room. And I went, that is terrifying. I sent a video to my wife. I said, can you say that so mom can hear you? So I don't know if there's something in this house, but both kids are always on edge. Ava, so you think MrBeast is not taking the allegations seriously? I think he's taking them very seriously to the point where he wants to silence this whistleblower. Dogpack 404 is the kid who used to work for him, who is making all the allegations, saying he's a fraud, he's a liar, he's tricking people. And there's more allegations too about his show on Amazon that's like been real dangerous for people. People been getting hurt for it. His show on Amazon is basically his YouTube channel, but with a $5 million prize. My complaints for MrBeast before we get started have never been of ill intent. Until now. Now that my suspicions have been kind of confirmed, I have some ill will towards him, because if he's being a fraud and claiming, one thing that bugs me is like when people are claiming like, oh, everything we do is on the up and up, it's all true, and it's not. You're a liar, and it's not for clickbait. But that bugs me. But my thing with MrBeast has always been he's a liar because he says subscribe for a cookie, which is bold-faced lie, and everyone seems to just overlook that. But like if he's willing to do that on every video, what else is he willing to do? He's willing to lie about the easiest shit. If you can lie about the most simple stuff, guess what? It gets easier for you to lie about more. And my other critique about MrBeast has been he's lazy. His content is lazy. Go. I did a live the other day. I was making notes of all his latest videos, It's either $1 versus $1 million something, which is all bullshit too. What's $1 nowadays? That's the other allegation, that he paid $1 for an island and really it was like $28. And that was one of the allegations Mr. Beast addressed. He was like, "Oh, it wasn't $1 with the fees and stuff. It was 28." So say that. You don't have to have it clickbaity to $1 and be a liar. It's almost more fascinating if you say I paid $28 for an island. People be like, 28? What the fuck? $1 is so generic, such a YouTube clickbait title, and it makes you a liar. Like, why would you do that? So my critique on Mr. Beast was always like, he's unoriginal. Yes, he paved the way, got the most subscribers, very generic. When he started off, it was weird, odd things he was doing. And he realized very quickly that like giving a homeless person money would boost his subs. So he basically focused everything about giving away money to get more money, which I had a problem with. But again, we won't go into it because he was still giving people, real homeless people at that point, money. Now, who knows? But just how unoriginal he is. Like even the last video I watched with Chris in it, where Chris was still Chris, it was the I survived on an island. And Chris said to him, which I loved, I was like, thank God Chris is saying this. Chris goes, "What are we doing here?" And Mr. Beast goes, "It's for content." And it just seems so like fucking lazy. It was just such a like, we're going through the motions. Oh, we have a lot of money, so let's fly to an abandoned island to just say we survived here. And my critique with that is like, you have your own production studio, your own industrial park essentially in North Carolina. You have the greatest minds in the world that can create content. That's what they tell you in the interview. When I interviewed for Mr. Beast, they say we hire the best minds in the world for this stuff. And I always thought, you got the best minds in the world and you're regurgitating content consistently. Everything's I survived somewhere, or you just did Netflix's Squid Game on YouTube. Like, none of this shit is original. He's either taking it from smaller YouTubers or just regurgitating what other YouTubers are doing. He's not doing original shit. He just has the best editors and he has the most money. None of this stuff is like, nobody's ever said like, oh, Mr. Beast is paving the way in a new genre. He's not. And in interviews, he says he just tries to conform to the algorithm, which I had such an issue with. And in fact, one of my critiques a while ago, I said, does he not have any foresight? He talks about how you got to edit. He talks about it in an interview where if he's straight talking to the camera for 10 seconds, like I've done for 22 minutes, he said people won't pay attention. They'll click off the video, they won't watch. He said, so we have 3, 4 different cameras and we're always cutting to something else. And he said, and that's how you keep people's attention. And I never forget hearing that and thinking, does this moron not hear himself? You can't, there's a finite amount you can edit to where it's just cuts. And I would pay attention to his videos and it just seemed like it was like the repercussions for young kids watching Mr. Beast, they're all gonna have ADD or some new kind of ADD from all his edits. So much to the point where a few weeks ago, Mr. Beast at the beginning of one of his videos said, we're gonna try something new. We're not gonna edit it as much. And he went out of the way and I thought, that's so weird that I mentioned this shit. I'm not saying he was watching my channel, but if you are Mr. Beast, make sure you hit subscribe. I ain't gonna give you a cookie, but I'll go live 5 days a week. And I thought, wow, that's so weird that like he finally saw the light, that like you can't keep editing to 1-second edits so people won't fucking look away. I thought it's such a dumb thing to think like that's the secret. And that's been my critique, that he's unoriginal and he's just trying to conform to the algorithm. And when you think about that big picture, right? Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber, if he decided to say, we're gonna go long form content, we don't want kids having all these edits so they have to always pay attention because there's always something new on the screen. If he said, we're gonna be storytellers, we're gonna get creative, we're gonna break this like nobody has the attention span, and we're gonna build people's attention span by giving them good, creative, new content. He could do that, and he fucking chose not to. You know what he did? He said, we're gonna try to get as good into the algorithm as we can. When he was the biggest one who could have bent the algorithm to his will, but he didn't. He folded. All right, let me read some of these comments. Sorry. Message retracted. Uh-oh. I don't know for sure. He started out real. Yep. Just a guy who's looking to do things, boost his popularity so he could boost his bank account. That's very true. And I don't like his Mr. Beast philanthropy channel. My issue with that is if you don't remember, he did a thing where he helped 100 people see. He did a video and then he got a lot of backlash on Twitter. I was one of the ones. But I wasn't trying to come at him angrily. He said, I don't understand why the government doesn't step in and do stuff like this and help people who are not, who are legally blind but have potential to see. He doesn't understand why the government isn't helping these people see. And I said, this is how people get woke. Just so you know, woke means you just fucking wake up to the reality of our system. And what I was trying to say to him, I tweeted a bunch. I said, isn't that an interesting question? Mr. Beast, you're saying the return, he called people a ROI, the return on investment is, you know, whatever it is. If people can see, they can go back to work. He said they could pay taxes. And I said, so if you're finally questioning the system, that means you're saying, why are we paywalling people to have this kind of healthcare access when it would not only help them, but it would help our society? And I thought that was a great moment. It was like a light bulb moment for Mr. Beast to see how fucked the system is. And instead, he got butthurt that people critiqued him. How dare they fucking question the great Mr. Beast? He was just trying to do good. It's like, bud, nobody's attacking you. They were trying to make you see that, like, bro, this is what's fucking broken in our system and you're capitalizing off of it. So that was, these are just my issues with Mr. Beast. But all these issues, leave Senor Beast alone. But all these issues that I've had for years really lend themselves to the allegations of today. How's he going to say that he's going to be creative, but he's so unoriginal? I don't understand. Must have hit my comments. Can people see my questions I'm asking? Grant B. Hold on, guess what? Maybe we should use his advice instead of trying to make a dollar yapping and hating on others, actually making content. Grant, I do make content. I don't know if you caught this or if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can join in and ask questions like you are. So, Grant, I do haunted explores, but they were getting too scary for me. Nobody wanted to go with me, and to be honest, it's very scary going to some of these places alone at night. Well, Grant, no one's above criticism. Is you know what the funny thing is Grant's criticizing me, but then saying, you know, Mr. Beast is above criticism, essentially. But I don't think anybody is above criticism. And that's why I'll address it. I used to do a parody show every week called Saturday Night Recorded. What the fuck did I call it? Not Saturday Night Live. Or no. Fuck, I forget what it's called. It's on my channel. And it was a parody of the Weekend Update. Not Weekend Update. That's what it was called. Sorry. And it was on Saturday Night Recorded. And I do reaction videos. So I do a bunch of different stuff. What you're catching now is my live stream, which I do 5 days a week. So that's why I say subscribe and hit the notification bell. And we talk about the news. So again, you're one of the people who says, oh, stop hating on Mr. Beast. And I'm not. I'm criticizing. If you missed it, I said, this is no ill will. Now there's a little ill will because of the fraud allegations. That pisses me off. When you're blatantly lying to people and, you know, there's a bunch of stuff in it. But all these critiques, Grant, like, what do you see wrong with me saying, like, go to his fucking page, Grant, and you tell me how original Mr. Beast's videos, when every third video is $1 versus $1 million car. I survived. Somebody survived for $10,000 a day. It's all the same shit regurgitated, Grant. If you can't see that, then maybe you're not looking at Mr. Beast's channel. This is like not a far-fetched thing. Mr. Beast does the same video again and again in a different location. Like, it's all somebody can win money from surviving somewhere. It's all somebody survived somewhere. It's weak. Think about it. He's the biggest YouTuber, 307 million subscribers. This dude has millions of dollars to pull off anything. He can hire, that's what I'm jealous about. I've said this. The one thing I'm jealous about is he can hire the greatest team of writers and minds to come up with new ideas. And this is the shit he does. He's doing the shit that like YouTubers like me and other basement YouTubers, the underground folks, are doing because we're strapped for, you know, whatever it may be. You don't have a car, you can't get to a location, you can't have the money to put into your channel. And he's doing that same shit, you know? That's weak. That's like worse than weak. That's lazy. It's unoriginal. Just go to his channel, Grant. If you make your own content, not only talking about other content creators, then you're all right. Oh, yeah. But listen, so Grant, this this live stream is about MrBeast and the news because it's probably the biggest news out today. And definitely if you're on YouTube, this is huge. Every YouTuber's talking about it. But for me personally, there's a couple things, and we'll get into it. We're going to get into it. I know this has been a long diatribe. And this isn't gossip either. I'm just saying because I've interviewed for MrBeast, because I worked in radio where we had to sign NDAs, and that's some of the news today, that MrBeast was sending cease and desists, saying this kid broke an NDA, which an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, just so everybody knows, when I worked in radio, you'd sign a contract. We worked on contracts. Not only did that contract stipulate like how much money I would make and bonus structures and like everything about my job, detailed to the fucking T, you know, very legal contract. And I mean that is like I had to fight to fucking make sure they knew that my Twitter handle was mine and not the company's. Because sometimes when you part ways from a company, they'll take your Twitter, they'll take your social media, and they'll say our radio station built that for you. That's property. I've just watched it here in Boston. It happened to a radio DJ. And I thought how funny it is that he didn't think to get that in his contract. And me at 20 something years old, I was fighting for that shit. And I didn't have a lawyer. I know this guy had an agent. I thought, what a fucking moron. Um, and I helped. I would share this with people. I would say, hey, when you go in to fight for your contract, you can put anything in a contract. Literally anything. Anything you want to fight for. The company, if they'll agree to it, you can put it in there. And I would put shit like that because my brand, the Boston Rob YouTube channel and all that, is something I've been building since 2005. It might not look like that on YouTube because I just started YouTube a few years back, but in radio, I worked my ass off and it was just me. I had no agent, no lawyer, no nothing. So I had to protect my own stuff. But an NDA essentially comes with the contract a lot of the times, and it basically says you're not allowed to share like trade secrets. I should have got mine out. I still have mine somewhere because I just found my contract when we were moving. And MrBeast is claiming that this Dogpack 404, but he's not saying it. Again, none of MrBeast hasn't said shit about this. He's claiming through lawyers, which we're gonna get to, that Dogpack is breaking an NDA. But the thing people don't realize, and this is where MrBeast kind of becomes a bully, is that you're not breaking an NDA if you're exposing illegal activities. Okay, so like in radio, I couldn't share certain secrets. And if I went, like when I got hired at a different company, they asked me right away. They were like, tell us all the secrets. And I was like, there ain't no secrets, man. Don't worry about it. I'll get you to number one. And my boss pulled me right into his office, shut the door, said, tell me the secrets. And I was like, man, we ain't got no secrets. What are you talking about? He said, really? I said, yeah, we ain't got none. But I was just more loyal to my family that I used to work for than this fucking knucklehead. And I did help him get to number one. But the NDA just kind of protects, like, for instance, if I was doing a video and I hired Grant to edit it, and I said, you got to sign an NDA because what I'm doing is, you know, I don't want MrBeast stealing it, right? I don't want my trade secrets getting out of how we're going to edit it, what the content is. And then Grant went and leaked it. That's breaking an NDA. But if I hired Grant as an editor and he saw me do something illegal, right? Like clearly I'm doing illegal stuff in the video, hypothetically. And Grant went and leaked it online and said like, yo, this dude rigged the whole contest. and it's a rigged lottery. It's, you know, an illegal activity, whatever, like the allegations with Mr. Beast. That's not Grant breaking the NDA. That's him fucking whistleblowing. Yeah, Grant saying that's whistleblowing. That's protected. Like, you should be able to call out if there's illegal shit going on. And when you think about how big Mr. Beast is, how many prizes he's given out, how much, I mean, just go look at his channel. Every fucking video is somebody won $1 million, right? He always talks about he just puts his money back into. But the thing is if this is true that the people winning are his friends, family, and employees, then it's not really a contest. Like, he's rigged it. He's got his buddies in there. Again, these are the allegations. Um, Topic is Mr. Beast allegations. Yes, Lemon Cartoon. Oh, what is up? What is up? Sunny V2 is a fortune teller. Who's Sunny V2? Where is Sunny V2? Is that somebody in here? Or oh, is Sunny V2 a YouTuber? I'm sorry. Lemon Cartoon 40. Good to have you back. Lemon Cartoon's a sub. And by the way, when you join up here and you're in the chat because you hit the notifications, you're part of the family, man. That's why I know Lemon Cartoon and Bandito and Soulless. He's a YouTuber. Okay. Oh, okay. I know Sun. Yep. I know who you're talking about. Okay. Um, so I love doing this too, by the way. If you're a small YouTuber, probably bigger than me, I only got 1,000 subs, but he's the guy who said Chris would be a huge bad thing for Mr. Beast. Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to watch that video. But we're not gonna talk about the Chris stuff. I don't want to touch that right now. That's gonna get hashed out in a whole different way. What I want to personally talk about, because this fucking has bugged me for a while with Mr. Beast, is like who he is. Again, if anyone could say subscribe for a cookie, I want you to really think about that. This is why this fucking bugs me so bad. If I said to you, Grant, Curtis, you guys are new, Ava, you guys are new, subscribe and I'll give you a cookie. And you subscribed, would you just brush off the cookie thing? Or would you be like, are you mailing me the cookie? How do I get the cookie? Is it a cookie in my browser? What are you talking about here? Like, he's fucking lying to people's faces. And kids, too. He's luring kids in with a cookie. It's the oldest fucking trick in the book. Never take candy from strangers, kids. I have to tell my kids that. I have to have the Mr. Beast talk with my kids. And I have. I said, he's not as good as, you might think he is. If he ever offers you a cookie, don't take it. Where's my cookie at? Curtis, that's what I'm saying. If we all came together, we would have a class action suit. 307 million people are owed cookies. How much money do you think that cost? And I can't believe none of these YouTubers have talked about that. And I only bring this up because it's the most obvious thing. It's the most on-the-nose thing. He's been lying since the beginning of his channel, promising cookies to people who've subbed. And he's gotten so many subs, so many subscribers based off of, yes, his content, but also subscribing for a cookie. Nobody's talking about this. And I feel like a crazy person with a tinfoil hat on yelling about this, but it means something. Your words fucking mean something. Or at least to me. I know in today's day and age, people can just say whatever the shit they want and just think it's all good. But if you're promising me a cookie and Mr. Beast, I subscribed, and I don't fucking get a cookie, at least say it's a virtual cookie and I'm tracking your browser. Then I'll go, okay, I got my cookie. We should demand our cookies. You're damn right we should. When I first heard Dirt and Mr. Beast, it was a thing about them wanting to get rid of Chris after all the gender swapping BS, but they couldn't because he threatened to sue. Interesting. Listen, I'm not against hearing conspiracy theories. There's always that stuff too. And the thing about conspiracy theories is sometimes they're not so crazy, you know? Truly kind people don't record and monetize every single second of it. Hold on. I want to read Chris's thing. And make people play games to have nice things done to them. That's so true. Unfortunately, all streaming, games, etc. revolve around kids. They have the most screen time and easy to manipulate and entertain. Also, the cookie thing is easy legal way out. Can argue it's obvious. That is very true, Grant. And he could just argue like, obviously, I didn't truly mean a cookie. But my thing is like, why would you do that, Mr. Beast? And more importantly, you have the means to give everyone a cookie. And again, I don't want to give this guy ideas. I really don't. And I do, like, that's why they fucking interviewed me, because I was like, here's some of my ideas. I'm not going to give you all of them, but I can help him. That sounds crazy. But I can't wait till I have a fucking team of people. I'd love to make certain YouTube videos. But imagine if Mr. Beast did a video where he said, I owe 307 million cookies. And he could bake them, and he could have his friends ship them out, and that could be a whole fucking series. And he could make it into a whole thing, and people would fucking gobble it up, and they would love it because they would see their cookies getting made. There's a whole thing to that. Um, did I see your comment about the quote? No, I did not. So where's psychological manipulation? But also Grant, that's the worst part about this is like Mr. Beast understands that his audience is young kids. And he's manipulating and lying to them and making, like, my kids have come to me and been like, did you see what Mr. Beast did? And I was like, let me see it. I said, do you think that's real? Let me show you something. And I'll go through the video with them, or I'll explain stuff. Because I've always thought, like, some of this stuff is clear. If you work in entertainment, you can kind of see some of the clearly staged stuff. Got to get to the root of the problem. Parents monitoring. Listen, I get what you're saying, and parents always need to do a good job. But if Mr. Beast is highly aware that he makes money off the attention of little kids, and then he does shit like this, there's some responsibility on him too, especially when it comes to the allegations, okay? The allegations of illegal lotteries. Like, if he's rigging shit just so he can get more views, like, bro, that's on him. This has nothing to do with parents. Imagine if Mr. Beast made an apology video, like how Miranda sings. If he came out with a fucking ukulele and started singing about I'm sorry for running illegal lotteries, he might win some fans back. Not me, but one of the many meanings of my favorite quote is, what is real will prosper. So you can't hide who you are behind closed doors. It always shows outside closed doors, no matter how hard you try to hide. Amen to that, Solus. I believe it. Perfect quote. Critical teaching is taught, not instinctual. Yeah. Critical thinking. I like critical teaching too, though, because this is a critical teaching moment. And that's why when people call me haters, I go, okay, you got to hear my message, Because if anything, I think Jimmy got caught up in something that was too big for him. And if you missed this, I said at the beginning, I've worked with some really wealthy people that were into entertainment. And when they get paid a lot, and when they're in that field of entertainment for long enough and people just admire them because they don't know that they're really dicks in real life, it goes to their head. And they think they're like ordained by God to just be there for the people. I've witnessed this time and time again. And it's a sad phenomenon, but it happens. And I think this is Mr. Beast. I mean, watch any interview with Mr. Beast, any podcast, okay? They all kiss his ass. Well, how did you do this? Why? Because he has 307 million subs. They don't look at his fucking content, but they just ask him about it like he's some miracle fucking Jesus on YouTube. And he ain't. Look at his content. It's all regurgitated bullshit. Even his biggest video, Squid Game, isn't original. He just did a fucking YouTube show. I haven't seen Squid Game. Maybe it's a movie. I don't know. Is a show, right? I don't know. But I just know this. I don't need to watch any of them to understand that Mr. Beast did Squid Game on YouTube. That's unoriginal as shit. That's just a fact. He just did somebody else's idea. He didn't create Squid Game. He did nothing besides bring it to YouTube because he had enough money to. So, Messiah complex, yeah. They just know they'll get a fat check. It's basically one for one. Willy Wink is Chocolate Factory video too. Do you mean Willy Wonka? Solus. Listen. Can we call him Willy Wink? Willy Wink and the Chocolate Factory? But yes, the Willy Wink and the Chocolate Factory. God damn it, Solus, I love you. He's officially Willy Winko or Willy Winka. Willy Winka. He is no more Willy Wonka. If you say Willy Wonka on this channel, I will boot you. He is Willy Winka. But that's my point. That's my point, Solus. Thank you. Don't you dare correct that. It is not Willy Wonka anymore. It is Willy Winka. That is so much funnier. Can we just take a little asterisk side note for a second? I love when people do that. It's so funny because my wife hates it. She really respects the language, all languages, and she loves. I don't know how to explain it. She's got to do it. But on the other hand, I love the alteration and growth of language and like how we get to where we are and the new words the youth give us. And my son, there's a blue jay that lives nearby. So he'll hear me say like, "Oh, look, there's the blue jay." And he didn't know what a cardinal was called, the red one. So a couple of days ago, he goes, "Look, a red jay." I was like, "A red jay? What?" I go, "Oh, that's a cardinal." And I said, "No, scratch that. It's a red jay from now on." So we've called the cardinal a red jay. So stuff like that, I really, really fucking love. This is why I absolutely love doing these lives, because that shit's brilliant. And it was a typo, but goddamn, it was funny. That's original. Take a note, MrBeast. That shit's original. But your, just like Solus was saying, your Willy Winka video and the Chocolate Factory, like again, Grant, I hope you see that I'm not coming with hate. I'm not being jealous. I'm just saying Willy Winka and the Chocolate Factory on YouTube is not original. Yeah, it's cool to see, but it's just a fucking book or a movie or whatever you get it from. That's what I mean. Like, when I think of original, I think of a Jim Henson, who not only created the Muppets, but also Sesame Street, Labyrinth with David Bowie, Dark Crystal. Like, that dude was a madman with creativity. Jimmy Donaldson just fucking rips shit off. He's unoriginal. That's it. And I don't even say that as like I'm mad at it. I get it. But this is my critique. It's a constructive criticism. It's like, Jimmy, you, on your interview with your team, you told me you have the greatest minds in the world. Fucking get them together and find the next Jim Henson. Find the next creative, the next revolutionary Renaissance man. Like, you can do that. You have the means. If you called anybody, they would pick up the phone for you. And he's out here doing Willy Winka and the Chocolate Factory, which is the new name for Willy, the other guy, for this channel. Red Crested Cardinal. Not anymore. It's a red jay. Dark Crystal will haunt and in my dreams forever. Yo, Dark Crystal, and here's a guilty pleasure of mine. I like to listen to the Labyrinth soundtrack. David Bowie wrote a lot of the songs on there. Chili Down, fucking A. I did a whole live stream on it. He's just a marketing partner. 100%. 100%. That's all he is. That's it. I understand there's value in calling out people benefiting from non-value added content, so hopefully people put time, effort into folks more productive. Yeah, half of YouTube is just printing. But that's the thing. When you're deep into YouTube, like, I can't claim to be, but I'm on here a lot, and I like to see, especially smaller channels, there are some insanely creative, original people. Rusty Cage, he built that whole guillotine, had a whole series, and did a whole album basically for the guillotine. So creative. Robbie Roadsteamer's on here. Brilliant creative. He's like an angel investor. 100%. There's also something I heard about him faking messages where he's supposed to be on the submarine that imploded because he knew the algorithm so well and knew it would give him more clout. I don't doubt it. But here. And that's what I was saying about this. If you're a small creator and you join the channel, or even if you don't subscribe, it means a lot to me if you subscribe. But if you don't and you still leave something in the chat, I'd love to shout you out, whatever you create. I think all of us small creators, if you don't know my idea for YouTube, which I'm pissed that they don't implement this, but if you go to like Zillow or any kind of app where you can set filters, I say Zillow because on Zillow, if you go, I want to rent a house or buy a house, it will ask you the price, right? Say 0 to 5 million or whatever. I think YouTube should have that kind of filter. And you can say, I want to look for channels with 0 to 1,000 subscribers, 0 to 1 million subscribers. And you should be able to set the filter, and then YouTube will filter out, smaller channels for you. In fact, I believe in that so much that I don't know if anybody knows how to do, the widgets? I think that's what it's called. I'm not a big tech dude, but I tried creating my own widget, or what are they called? Something that you can add on to the browser. So YouTube, I tried building a filter for YouTube that I would like to disperse to people so they can find smaller creators, because I felt like every fucking trending week is a Jimmy Donaldson video or a big YouTuber. When trending, to me, I get it if you're getting millions of views, but if you're under a million views, okay, and just hear me out on this. If you have a million subscribers and your view count is at 700,000, you're not trending. You haven't even reached your subscriber count. But let's say a channel like mine with 1,000 subscribers makes a video and I get 100,000 views. That shit's trending in my world. So I just think it's skewed. YouTube obviously pushes who they want to. This is not like up for debate. It's what they fucking do. They have the face of YouTube. You can go into the Kenji, what's his name? Kenji talked about this with the YouTube controversy a while ago. But, I just think that if there was a way to filter out and get smaller YouTubers to create a better community and, regurgitate each other's content, because some of these small YouTubers are fucking talented and creative. But let's watch some of this. I want to watch some of this with you guys because, again, this is a small YouTuber. This is Camnuggets. I linked the video down below. He's going to go...
MrBeast's team is doubling down with another cease and desist. This time, the final warning to Dogpack404, who you all may know as the creator of the MrBeast is a fraud video. At this point, that thing is freaking global. It's had about 7, almost 8 million views. And we can just go ahead and hop on over here to Twitter and see the cease and desist letter that Dogpack404 was sent. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. Cease and desist, final warning. He added a funny little emoji. Dear Mr. Dogpack, obviously that's his real name. This firm, new firm whose white-collar criminal defense practice is second to none, according to their website, has recently been retained by MrBeast YouTube LLC, MrBeast, or the company, Lethal Company, and its founder, Jimmy Donaldson, regarding the unsettling news that you have embarked on a campaign to disparage MrBeast as a company and defame Jimmy Donaldson as an individual. Not only are your statements about MrBeast and Jimmy Donaldson untrue, they also violate the clear, binding, enforceable terms of your confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement with MrBeast.
I'm going to pause it there because I want to talk about what Grant just said. So Grant said, yeah, YouTube is a public for-profit company. They're always going to go for the bigger clickbait folks that make them more ad revenue. If they didn't, shareholders can come after board members for not maximizing profit, which is their sworn obligation to shareholders. Welcome to the free market economy. It's not really a free market economy. It's a financial investment economy. It's just for investors. That's basically what fucking capitalism has brought us. It's bullshit, and it helps nobody. But I will argue this point, Grant. I understand what you're saying, but that is, so with Wall Street and all these public companies that are traded, publicly shared traded companies, they always have these quarterly meetings. You can go on the calls, especially if you hold stocks, but sometimes they're public and you can look them up, or most of the time they're public because they're publicly traded companies. And you look them up. And what do I always tell people? I said, they're always trying to what? The whole goal of their earnings fucking meetings is to meet Wall Street's expectations. It says it in every fucking report release of their quarterly earnings, that what they came either close to, missed, or surpassed Wall Street's expectations. Wall Street expectations are always more and more profit, more. It's a short-term fucking game. That's what it is. So my argument with that, and I've said this many times in different companies and places I've worked, is yes. You can argue that point, that if they don't push the biggest stuff, they won't get more ad revenue. But is that a long term plan? You know, Mr. Beast is going to fizzle out at some point. He growth can't be, I mean, let's say he got a subscriber from everyone in the world. His growth is then finite. You can't keep growing. My argument is that if you start to invest in the smaller creators, maybe the next Mr. Beast, hopefully not, maybe someone cooler than him, maybe something else like that, and you push these things, you're actually what you're doing. It's just like having a baseball team in the farm league. Is you're developing your farm league. So at some point in the future, you're going to have that same kind of top tier content. That's my argument. Whether or not you like it or you believe in it, that's fine. But I've just seen it work. That in radio, when we would hire interns, if we could teach them all we could and kind of train them in the art form of radio, um, we knew we had bigger content, funnier content because we had more minds collaborating for the show. And with this short term vision of like, we just got to pump out Mr. Beast, he's the biggest thing, they're going to miss the fucking the next wave because they're so focused. And who knows who will catch that wave or what that wave will be. But I just think it's better in a free market term to diversify and to boost some of those things. And you could do it under the guise, even if you don't think the profits tomorrow will be great, under the guise of like, this is our long term goal. Long-term game for sure, better right now. Customers with a monopoly on top, you're not incentivized. That's true. It's truly a treat to watch a small channel go from nothing to standing beacon from the top, bottom to the top. That's why small businesses are always better than big corporations. One hundo. So now, let's go back to this. This Mr. Dogpack, the firm, and then he blanked out the firm name, but it says new firm whose white-collar criminal defense practice is second to none according to their website, has recently been retained by MrBeast YouTube LLC. And its founder, Jimmy Donaldson, regarding the unsettling news that you've embarked on a campaign to disparage MrBeast as a company and defame Jimmy Donaldson as an individual. I don't think he defamed him. Again, I linked Dogpack 404's video down below if you want. I'm sorry. Something just made a loud noise over there. I'm very sorry. I'm freaked the fuck out right now. I don't know what that was, but as I was talking, it sounded like something just moved. Sorry about that. I don't think he was disparaging. You can watch a video for yourself. I gotta watch it again because I fell asleep halfway through. It's Jimmy Zipman. Don't say that, Lemon Cartoon 40. That was really terrifying though. Yeah, I gotta get my cat. Oh, my cat? No, I was gonna say my cat or my dog. This is why my dog does not like coming down here. Because something sounded like it just fucking like slid over there. And I'm the only one down here. But again, if you were on the live stream the other night, my dog was growling over there the whole time. Oh, I really don't want to go find my ghost hunting stuff, but I might have to do it on a live stream. I just don't want to find it because it's kind of like I don't want to confirm that there's something here. You know what I mean? But that really just freaking scared me. God created man and cult made him equal. Good. So anyways, like we were talking about earlier, this is Mr. Beast's second cease and desist to Dogpack. And I gotta say, I respect Dogpack not giving a fuck and saying, no, I'm gonna stand by my video. Um, because you gotta imagine the weight of a Mr. Beast Titan corporation coming after you has gotta be heavy. But it speaks volumes again that Dogpack is not only posting this stuff and saying, fuck that, but he's still exposing. He's gonna have a part two to the video. And I love that the part two is going to talk about, and again, I linked a video down below of some ordinary gamers. I believe his name's Mudar. Um, he addresses the part two video briefly. In fact, let me bring it up. Hold on. That's why I like doing the live stream with my iPad.
And, this Mr. B stuff is kind of a roller coaster, to be honest.
So hold on, let me get to it. So this is the other video I linked. But the part two video, which I've had a problem with his charity stuff. I said I wasn't going to go into it. Good night, man. God bless. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Lemon Cartoon 40. Peace. Glad I got to see you tonight again. Hopefully you get to join in again sometime soon. That's why you gotta, not when you subscribe, you gotta hit the notification bell, because I love that Lemon Cartoon 40 came back. I love when people return. That's why I say it's kind of like a family. Now I get why Oh My Gosh calls it, and James the fam call it a fam, because you start to know people, and it's fucking cool. By the way, Lemon Cartoon, if you're still here, I created a Discord server. Link down below. Would love for you to join. It's where we can all just kind of connect, talk about stuff more often. I'm on there, or I'm going to try to be on there more than I live stream, obviously. And maybe what I can do too is get you guys' feedback on. I'm working on a video. This will be my part two of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, scam artists. Tony, I used to respect. He started working with Dean, and he's a scam artist. But the video is at 40 minutes right now. That's too long. It's going to crash my phone. So maybe I could get you guys' feedback on stuff I should trim out. It's hard for me to trim stuff. That's why I need an editor. Back to the Mr. Beast stuff. The part two video is going to be his critique or calling out. I don't know, his allegations, call out. I don't know what part two. I haven't seen it. But it's going to be about his Mr. Beast, the C's, his philanthropy or his do-good channel, and how in that video, this was one of my critiques on it, is he pretends like if we just clean up our trash, we could clean the seas. Look at how much we did, and we're just normal, everyday, 300 million subscriber YouTubers. And Mr. Beast at no point turns and says, like, look at all the fucking Coke bottles we found. Like, these corporations owe it to us to make this stuff either recyclable, biodegradable. They need to invest in some kind of new technology, or put everything in tin cans or glass bottles. Or these corporations owe it to us and the earth that they're profiting off of, that they're living the high life off of, to adjust their business model, because it's the microplastics, the fucking beaches look like trash. There's a trash island in the Pacific Ocean. And Mr. Beast, the biggest fucking YouTuber, who wouldn't get any lashback. I mean, he would, but like, he could just be like, what are you going to do? I'm the biggest YouTuber. He said nothing. He made it like it was our individual responsibility. Like, how the fuck am I going to stop Coke from making plastic bottles and being all over the beach? That's their job. Anyways, sorry. So, not going to lie, I was scrolling through random lives trolling because it's dead content. I started to do that with you, and you won me over because you have a brain. But I gotta go because you earned a sub, Grant. Grant, I respect your honesty. I gotta tell you that you were scrolling through random lives and trolling. Fuck, now you're gonna make me stay up late and do that to other people. No, I don't think I could do that. But that's funny as shit. Good on you for responding to my original trolling with a legit not mad response. Here's my thing, Grant. Like, who the fuck am I? You know, I got 1,300 something subs. I don't have 307 million subs. I'm not a YouTube god. No, but seriously, like, having conversations is how we fucking progress as a fucking species, man. I know that's like out there, but I'm glad you came back with some real stuff too. You know, I gotta respect you for that, because There are people that just come in and troll and then they leave and they don't want to have any dialogue. But I respect you, Grant. I'm glad you're here, and make sure you hit the notification because I want you back in. Because this is my biggest thing. When I hired people, before you go, I'll make this quick. When I would hire people on the radio, I would say, I want to be the dumbest guy in the fucking room. Because that means I hired the right people. That means I got a team of people that are far superior to what I can do in their specific fields. Or sometimes, and I would tell them this, I said, if you're better than me, take my job. And guess what? One of my old hires is still working in radio as a producer. I couldn't be more proud of him. Me and him checking all the time. I love this kid, Stan. He's a fucking man. And he essentially, he didn't take my job, but he's doing my job and I'm out of work. And I love that. And there's a lot of people that hate that or will suppress people or try to keep them down. And for me, it's like, man, you got to pass this knowledge on. I can't do this shit forever. So, are you crying your favorite MrBeast friend Chris got canceled? Here comes another one. Oh, Jesus. Always want to be the dumbest in the room. That's how you grow. That's right. So, Grant, so my whole point is like, you come in, and if I start talking about, we're not always going to talk about MrBeast, but I need those opposing opinions. I need the conversation, because if it becomes an echo chamber, and in radio with some of these wealthy hosts, they just wanted an echo chamber. And that's what I was scared of with MrBeast. It sounds like he's surrounded by an echo chamber. And if you watch any interview he's done, it's echo chambers. You're the best. You're the best. How'd you do it? How'd you do it? And if nobody challenges him and nobody criticizes him constructively with no ill will, he's going to become this. And he's becoming, from what we know. So, Grant, salute to you. Hit that notification bell because I want you back in the chat. Real quick, I know I've been going long, so we're going to wrap this up soon, but I want to play this part of some Ordinary Gamers. I linked the full video down below. Highly recommend you watch it, just like Camnuggets video that we were playing before. But he addresses the part 2 video of MrBeast coming from Dogpack 404. And this is the shit that we will talk about here on the live because it's important.
Which a lot of YouTubers, myself included, basically cameoed and also participated and gave our likeness to MrBeast and accused him of not basically being as altruistic as it seems. So according to Dogpack, what he basically said that he was going to originally expose the philanthropy efforts and basically being more about aiding private interests and boosting the image than actually doing anything good. But in that investigation, he came across something far more interesting that no one has ever found. And apparently his part 2 will be far more damaging. This is literally one kid versus one of the largest enterprises on YouTube. Truly, it is legitimately a David and Goliath story, right? Just size-wise. But again, I like to be fair and balanced whenever I look at stuff like this. And obviously, this is just one person's story. Obviously, MrBeast has a side as well, too, in that whole company. So it really is worth seeing, and I'm really, really hoping to see what their actual side is, because at this point, an actual statement from the MrBeast guys could either completely bury this fucking guy, or it could absolutely bury their company. There is no in-between anymore. There's no in-between. Extreme ends of the spectrum.
And it's interesting that MrBeast has said nothing. He's just spoken through lawyers with cease and desists that are nonsensical, because if he's breaking the law, that's whistleblower protected. But hold on, let me get to the...
take this whole mention with a little bit of charity here. I think it's more intended to be, yes, obviously you're removing trash from an ocean, but it is also a way to show that, yes, we can all collaborate even more down the road to do even more impactful things. I don't think I want to be as cynical as possible just off of this thread. So what he says is, why did Team C's never mention corporate pollution or push for a ban on unnecessary single-use plastics, and instead push the narrative that this problem is solvable by people and cleanup efforts? Could it be that 50% of the money went to a Peter Thiel startup, a funded startup whose largest sponsor is Coca-Cola? And of course, one of the things is, he mentions an actual post by renewalmatter.eu where they say 56 companies are responsible for 50% of the world's plastic population, of which the top 5 are the Coca-Cola company, 11%. So yeah, not exactly the best look possible. So then he talks about why plastic pollution is bad, and how depending on the size of certain microplastics, they...
So this is apparently going to be the part 2, which I can't wait for. But like Mudahar was saying from some Ordinary Gamers, it's fascinating. Just like when MrBeast healed 100 people and gave them sight. He took legally blind people and gave them the surgery that gave them sight. Very Jesus-like MrBeast. And then he went on Twitter and said, I don't see why the government doesn't see the return of investment on healing blind people, that they'll pay taxes, they can be part of the community again. And a lot of people, MrBeast took it as a personal attack, but a lot of people were going, yeah, that's why we want Medicare for all, universal health care. That's why we don't like this system where we're paywalled to have our health be restricted if we don't have the money. Like MrBeast, stuff that you, your friends, your echo chamber, your marketing buddies, your capitalist friends would all call socialism, communism. Like, you're kind of getting the point now that like the system we have is a for-profit healthcare system. We're the only industrialized wealthy nation that has that fucking is putting people in medical debt and burying them. And MrBeast finally started to wake up and see that, and then his ego got in the way. And he took offense that people would dare criticize him. But I think a lot of people were just saying, yeah, Jimmy, wake up, bud. Like, we're all wondering, too, why the government wouldn't fucking help instead of using our taxes for whatever foreign fucking, what do you want to call it? I don't know. Just foreign fucking money laundering. Whatever foreign money laundering they're doing with our taxes to give it back to wealthy Americans. Like, why aren't they giving us universal health care? And Jimmy was like this close to getting there and being a socialist and wanting universal health care for all. And then his ego took over. And probably some capitalists whispered in his ear. But that's going to be part 2. And you better bet your sweet buns we're going to be talking about that on this channel once part 2 comes out. I don't know what's going to happen. But interesting conversations tonight. I'm going to stay up to date with this MrBeast stuff because, let's face it, this is crazy. We knew he was unoriginal. That's just a fact. He did Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory. He just regurgitated that one on YouTube. He did Squid Game, stole somebody else's idea on YouTube. He steals the most generic, or regurgitates the most generic YouTube ideas as videos, but just does them with the most amount of money. And he hasn't really done anything original. But more importantly, he's lied from the get-go. He's promised everybody who's subscribed a cookie, and I haven't met one person that's got a cookie. So when you consider those lies and that unoriginality that MrBeast has already displayed in our faces, you gotta wonder if there's something to these other allegations by Dogpack404. Thank you guys, everybody who joined tonight. I really appreciate it. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please do. I go live every weekday. That's my word. Sometimes I go live twice a day. Sometimes on the weekends. It all depends. But either way, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and thank you so much for watching.